Welcome back. We are ready to go. Just before we get going, one quick change to make, and that is diamond scheme. I know I keep making changes, but I showed you how to set up a codex and then realised afterwards that this ward's not going to do me much good either. So diamond skin's coming out and subtle field is coming in. I'll explain that when we get to it. Okay, let's kick off our encounter. We've already done our resonance roll, and the player to start things off is the player with the highest harmony. Since we're both on 0, then you next look at resonance. Whoever has the highest resonance will go first. I've got 5. Sentient Shadow has 6. So Sentient Shadow has the initiative. They get to take the first action. Sentient Shadow takes an action via this draw bag, which we set up in the last episode. So we just draw a token from here and we check the colour. It's a yellow. So all we do now is we look at either this side or that side. This is what happens if you draw yellow. This is what happens if you draw red. And we start from the top and work down. First it says if there's a soul or mind curse on the encounter, then roll a bit on ability chart A. There isn't. There's no curses on our encounter just yet. We haven't had a chance to cast any. Then it says, okay, is the opponent focused? No, it's still the first round. We haven't focused anything. So we drop down to the default position, which says Lesser Sentient Shadow takes the Dark Lash effect. It's an area effect. It's subtle and it does 1 harmony damage and it costs no resonance. An area effect just means it affects everybody, not just one particular player. And it's going to do 1 harmony damage. Well, we'll just let that one go through. We're not worried about that. The thing about Lesser Sentient Shadow is that it always does harmony damage. And you might be saying, well, what's the problem in that? It's trying to hit our essence. Well, what happens is, when a player reaches -7 or +7, now a negative number, remember, is called discord, positive harmony. So if we hit 7 discord or 7 harmony, then we have to roll for an event, a harmony discord event. And that then is potentially doing damage. Alright, but we're not going to worry about that just for the moment. That's the first action performed by Lesser Sentient Shadow. Now it's our turn. What I'm keen to do is get some defences in place. So I need something like Material Binding of Malkuth with my Etheric Barrier. So it's going to take me 2 actions to put those in. Material Binding needs a gas component, so that's going to be 3 actions to get this up and running. I've got a gas component, it's not a problem. Let's put this one in here to remind myself that that is for that. Switch this around. Okay, so I want 3 actions to get my shields up and running, and I'd really like to get that happening on this first round. Remember, I've only got 2 actions, but I do have my Ring of Collected Haste. Ring of Collected Haste says, once per round, activate to gain an extra full action. Alright, so that's going to give me my full 3 actions. But this isn't an unlimited thing. This number here, 3, says this thing starts with 3 charges on it. And every time I use it, I take away 1 charge. And if I remove the 3rd charge, then I can use it no more. And you should do this at the beginning of the match, really. But let's grab some charge chips. This one's got a 2 on the back and then a single that gives me 3 charges. Activating this artifact is a free action. It doesn't take up one of my 2 actions. Okay, that would kind of be pointless. But it does have a cost, and it's this cost here. It costs me 1 essence to activate this. So let's activate it. It's a free action response. In response to the Lesser Sentient Shadow's attack, I'm going to activate, so take away 1 charge. I'm going to pay 1 essence and then I'm going to gain an extra full action. As I record this fact, I'm going to place this extra action here. I'm going to take 1 essence damage. It's still now my action. So let's now try and cast a spell. And we want to put this gas component in air essence. Okay. Now, to cast this spell, we're going to have to speak the words. Now, when you're playing Solitaire, you don't have to speak this out loud, but this is a level 1 spell. It's going to be very easy to cast. Okay, all we have to do is look at the serpent's key here, and it's asking us, and they're coloured in red, to pronounce the letters, and in Serpent's Tongue for V, D and Z. And if you follow this here, this where the circle is will be the first letter, V, D, Z. Okay, each point on this, starting with the circle, ending with this terminating line here, is what we need to speak. What we'll do is we'll go and grab our key and then cross-reference. Okay, so it's going to be vad, dal, zo. Vad, dal, zo. Okay, and then if we turn it around and see if we pronounced it correctly, vad, dal, zo. We did well. Well done. We've cast our spell, Air Essence. Air Essence is a component. It's going to go sideways in our defensive zone. This is our enhancements. There's going to be 4 slots here for enhancements, and this middle section here we'll call our defensive zone, and then our attack zone can be up here somewhere. Alright. We've still got to play the card's costs. Okay, this is the card's costs here. And normally this will be a negative value and it will cost us some resonance. This one actually has a positive effect. When we cast this spell successfully, when it impacts, it will actually give us resonance. Alright, so even better. Let's place this down. We'll take the 1 resonance bonus, happy with that. But not only that, it's got a duration here of P. What that means is this is a permanent component. This isn't going to get cast and then be discarded. It's going to stay there for the rest of the match until something actively discards it. So to help you recognise things with a permanent duration, you've got a nice little token here. It's a sand timer here with a P. That tells you that this is a permanent duration. This icon here tells me it's bonded, so if it does get discarded, then I could potentially bring it back a lot easier. The other thing is that this one, everything here you need to look is here. Duration is bonded, duration P, and it's also unique to caster, and there's a game note here to explain. That means you can only have 1 copy of this in play at any one time. So that's my first action. That's my free action, so let's discard this for now. And it's back to the lesser sentient shadow. They're going to draw another chip for their second action. There we go. And it's a red one this time. So we're looking at this part of the chart. And it says, remember, we start from the top and work down. If they've got 4 resonance, they've got 6 currently, then they will cast, this is a spell this time, Purge the Light. It's an area spell, so it's going to affect all players. It's subtle, so it's going to push through any shields we have. Pretty tough, huh? And it's going to do 5 harmony damage. This is a pretty powerful spell. And this might scupper with my plans a little bit, but we'll see. Anyway, we move their resonance down from 6 to 2. Remember, it costs 4 resonance for them to cast it. It's subtle, so even if we had a shield in place here, it's not going to get blocked by that. But I could now, at this point, use my Fortified Spirit. This is a response defensive spell. So I could now, in response to them, because every time any effect would happen during the actions phase, then it has this response before it impacts, this response period phase before it impacts. This one has the response keyword and this symbol here. And what that means is I could potentially cast this now and discard a matter component, which I have. I have the air essence here, and that would allow me to evade any effect that has the soul. It's actually purple, this black and white moon, or the yellow sphere. Okay, so that's an option. It would cost me 1 harmony and 2 resonance to cast that, but I'm going to save it for the moment because I want to try and stick to my plan. Let's take the 5. Let's take the 5 harmony damage. So that's going to put my discord down to 6. So it's -6 harmony, discord 6. Because what I want to do with my further actions now is put my shields up and set myself up for subsequent turns. Before we cast our spell with our next action, I want to take a quick look at Life Chanter. Life Chanter, or all specializations, have this initiate ability. This is a passive effect, it's always active. This one says, once per round, cellular augmentation's ability infuses +1 resonance. It's a free action. But of course, I don't have cellular augmentation in play. But I do have it in my codex. In fact, I've got 2 copies. This is the Fluency 2 version. And I should have, the Fluency 1 as well. So I should think about that. Neither of these are free actions. No, maybe next time then. So for now, let's think about getting our shield in. We're going to need another component. This one's nice and cheap and it's permanent. Pillar of Earth. So let's have a look at what we need to do to cast it. It's 3 letters because it's Fluency 1. So it's going to be Par Dal Zo. Par Dal Zo. Okay? Par Dal Zo. Par Dal Zo. Let's see if we got it right. Yeah, Par Dal Zo. Good stuff. Remember the gesture as well. Okay? I'll show you that perhaps when we get to Fluency 2. Right, so we've successfully cast Pillar of Earth. It gives us 1 resonance. It's permanent and it's a solid component. Okay, so that's 1 action. This gives me 1 resonance, so that goes up to +3. For my next action, I'm going to cast. Okay, here's my shield. Material binding of Malkuth. It's a Fluency 1 again. And it's a matter, so I'm going to be doing the fist. If I was doing the gestures. And this time it's VPD here. Vad Pardal. Vad Pardal. Okay, good stuff. This one's going to cost me 2 resonance. And I need to, because of this exclamation mark, discard a gas component. So we'll discard this one actually, yeah. And this is a shield that's going to go in my defense zone with my components. This one will get discarded. So I'll just start a discard pile over here. It's going to cost me 2 resonance. Oh, that's not right. I should have been on. I was on 6. Pillar of Earth gave me 7. Yep, back down to 5. 2 resonance. Okay. And this shield has a durability of 3. See this shield with the 3? And it says it here in the aspects list. Durability 3. So let's grab some tokens. 3 tokens. These duration tokens on the reverse have got this durability, this kind of shield. So we're going to give it 3 tokens. These are going to soak up 3 essence damage. Okay, as it goes. I don't think we're going to need it, but that's not what I'm aiming for, as we'll find out in the next round.